the very same word he had used years earlier. You know, he was writing these verses from death row in a Roman dungeon. So he was soon to be martyred for his faith. Yet, his life was a success. So he had that fulfillment and the fullness of joy and satisfying sense of accomplishment because he had completed his course. He had completed his course that God laid out for him. He had done the will of God. Some will say, again, that was the great Apostle Paul. God had a great plan for his life. But it has nothing to do with me, and nothing. I'm so small. All right, here it is straight. God has a plan for your life too. Unless you are convinced that He does, you will probably lay your own plans and choose your own way. Kagaya mo nung yung measuring tape na ni Dida. It's so irregular. That's our way. And someday you will look back. Maybe you will reach your goals. Probably you will reach your goals. Pero at that point, would you be happy? Would you be fulfilled? You may be feeling hollow or empty. So, we must firmly establish this basic biblical concept before we go any further. God has a plan for your life. We have learned from the scripture that God has a plan for our lives, and that it includes every detail of daily living, and that we can know exactly what it is. Why is it then that so many Christians have so many questions about God's will? Why do they find it difficult to discern God's will, and why do they lack the assurance that they are in His will? You see, some people may not have discovered God's plan because they are looking for the wrong thing. They may be expecting God to show them the blueprint for their whole life. You know, some people expect the complete answer, yung package, ano po? Like they tend to be impatient. They want to see the results. Ano ba ang outcome if I will work 10 years abroad? Lord, I want to see. Gano'n ako kayaman nun. Parang gano'n yung inisip mo. Or gano'n nakalaki yung pamilya ko by that time. Parang gano'n. They may be looking for a continent-wide roadmap when God simply wants to tell them which turn to take next time. Para bang nag-plan ka na ng trip around the world. Yun ang gusto mo mag-isip sa Panginoon. Lord, ano ba yung plano mo sa akin? Pupunta ba ako ng Europe, ng Amerika, ng kung saan-saan? Gusto ko malaman ngayon. Parang ganun. Pero maybe it's not God's will. Maybe it's God's will today is siguro after ng service, kailangan mo makipag-fellowship. Parang ganun lang yung gustong gawin ng Panginoon. Maybe when you leave this room, you just have to turn right. Baka ganun lang inilalahad ng Panginoon at this moment. May mga clients po in our practice, and it's normal, that they want to see the appearance of their future house. And we do that, we give that service. We give them a view of what they're going to expect after building their house. That's normal. But God's way in our life, in our circumstance, He's not giving us a complete picture at once. If they have their minds set on seeing the whole picture, they are likely to overlook the small details and the direction that God is trying to give them. Parang ano po, yung shortcut. Hindi na mahalaga kung paano ka nakarating doon. Parang yun ang gusto mo ma-achieve ka agad. But God is teaching you, molding you day by day, giving you directions and the skill for you to be strong. And that yung pong resistensya para makayanan mo yun. If the basic principle of divine guidance is this. God leads us one step at a time. Ano po? This is from the Psalm. And the psalmist said, the steps of a man are established by the Lord. It is not accident that he used the word steps when he revealed the existence of God's plan to our lives. While God has the whole journey mapped out already ahead of time, he conceives of that journey as a successive series of small steps. And that is the way he makes it known to us. The Lord made the plan, complete plan, but it's not giving to you at once. He's revealing it to you step by step, one step at a time. The fundamental, or rather the foundational principle of guidance is illustrated in another psalm, which says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You know, wala pong iniwan sa anin sa province. I don't know kung meron sa inyo lumaki sa bukid, na kung saan sa gabi, kung lilipat ka ng kapitbahay, wala pong ilaw doon, so kailangan mo yung lampara to guide you your way. Maybe you're walking with your family sa pilapil or sa maliit na daan. This is your guide, yung lamp. In the same way, I also remember when we were in Egypt, we went to Mount Sinai. So we went on a pilgrimage to climb the Mount Sinai. It will take you like 4 hours to climb the mountain. So you do that like 1 o'clock in the morning because you want to be there at sunrise. So you will be tracking this mountain in the dark. So the tour guide will give you a light, either a flashlight or something. Each one of you, just to guide you. Because if you don't have that light, you will get hurt. The road is very rough and full of rocks. You will get tipped. So this is what we're saying here. One step at a time. And your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. When an ancient traveler journeyed at night, he carried an oil lamp with him. As he walked along, swinging the lamp out in front of him, so he could see the rocks and rats directly ahead of him in the road, so he could avoid them. Sometimes he actually strapped a small clay lamp to his ankle, and it illuminated the path before him, one step at a time, as he walked. So that is how God uses His Word to guide us. He does not promise a brilliant blaze. Alam niyo po ngayon, di ba may mga yung strong light, may mga beam that it can shoot in the sky or it can shoot maybe hundreds of meters away. It's a brilliant blaze na pwede pong ilawan so much ahead of you, maybe a kilometer away. Blaze of light to illuminate the road for miles ahead. Now, God promises a lamp to our feet. Enough light for our next step. So maybe the illustration would be more meaningful in our mechanized society if we put in terms of a driving car. The same way po, when you have a car, you drive at night, meron pong ilaw yan. It is equipped with light. Now this light is not so strong that it can beam 1 kilometer away. No. Meron pong certain limit lang yan. Within at certain distance of safety, you can see what's ahead of you. Kung meron kang mababangga, kung meron kang kailangan likuan, or maybe somebody's crossing, that's enough to guide you at night. These headlights ng sasakyan, ano po? Hindi naman po pwedeng napakalakas ng ilaw kasi it will be a problem to other motorists. So the headlights on our automobiles do not expose the dangers so mile ahead. Hindi po. They merely